Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all West Virginia students, sponsored by West Virginia Association of College Registrars and Admission Officers and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen for the presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week at the same website, WVACRAO.org. Now I'll turn it over to the presenters.
Thanks so much. I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared here. Just want to make sure everyone can see that. Can you see the main slide there, Will? Let me see here.
There we go. I got it now.
Oh, you got it? Okay, very good. Well, I just wanted to take a moment and welcome everyone to the session this evening. Our Think Big, Choose Small is co-sponsored by Concord University, Fairmont State University, and Shepherd University. For those of you who may not be familiar with our location, Fairmont State University is located in north central West Virginia, about 25 minutes south of Morgantown. Concord University is located in Athens, West Virginia, in southern West Virginia, and Shepherd University is located over in the Eastern Panhandle. So just a very quick introduction to all of our panelists, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Alan.
Yes, hello everyone. Glad you had the opportunity to join us today. I'm Alan Smith, I'm Associate Director of Admissions at Concord University, also a Concord University graduate. So hopefully you'll find today beneficial for you. I'll pass it on over to back to Chris.
And my name is Chris Sharps. I'm the Senior Director of Recruitment here at Fairmont State University. Once again, just thank you to everyone who is out this evening to attend the session. I hand it off to Will.
And I am Will Bell, and I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Shepherd University. So just want to again welcome everybody and hope you enjoy our presentation today.
Thanks a lot, Will. So whenever you start thinking about the different options that you have whenever choosing a college, hold on just a moment, there we go. My PowerPoint was freezing for just a second. But whenever you think about the different options of choosing based on campus size, I'm going to hand it off to Will to talk, or actually to hand it off to Alan, talk a little bit more about campus size and the different things that you might want to consider whenever you are choosing a college campus.
All right, thank you, Chris. Of course, I went to a small school. And I believe everyone on the panel here went to a small school. So that is definitely our experience. And we definitely want to take a couple minutes to kind of share with you why we believe that could be beneficial for you. And it very well may fit your social and learning style. So if you don't mind, we'll go to the next slide. And there are a couple points that I'll point out. And I know it may be okay, there we go. So one of the things, of course, is that being a small campus, if you've ever visited one, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's very pedestrian friendly. So it's easy to get from point A to point B. If you have a class that ends at 9:50 and the next class begins at 10 o'clock, you have ample time actually to get from the one class that just ended to the one that just started. So you don't have to necessarily worry about time management in terms of getting from point A to point B, whether it's for a class or a meeting or an appointment. No matter how far the furthest, I guess you could say, residence hall or wherever building is from another building. You don't have to worry about catching like a transit system to get from point A to point B. So you don't have to worry about time management with that. And that's not something that you have to block out within your day, and you're able to maximize and capitalize on all the time in your day. Also, there's only one location that kind of ties into that previous point we just made. So you don't have to worry about a certain academic building that you have class in on one side of town and another building that you might have another class in on another side of town. So once again, not something that you have to worry about putting into your day. That's of course very convenient for you. Once again, and of course, it goes without saying, you also want to be able to block in lunch in there, and that's not something that you will have to worry about. Man, am I going to have to do this on the go? You have plenty of time to sit down and actually grab lunch, and you can have a car on campus. And all of us here do allow freshmen to have cars on campus. We actually heavily encourage that. And at Concord, we only charge $25 a semester. And at Fairmont and Shepherd, I always forget what their fee is, but it's very reasonable. And so we all encourage you to do that. And I think that makes your first year of college experience especially a lot more easier, and the transition a little bit more seamless for you. And it's very, once again, me being from West Virginia, I think the small campus size is very similar to the culture and the atmosphere that most West Virginia students have grown up in and been accustomed to.
Very comfortable. You don't have to worry about leaving your car at home or not having a ride here or there. So the next slide up is specifically in regard to student to faculty ratio and class size. And for that, I'm going to hand it off to Will.
Yeah, so I think all three of us are pretty proud about how our class sizes and how our faculty work with students. So one thing that we all preach on is that you're not just a number when you come to Fairmont, Concord, or Shepherd. Your professors, your faculty are going to know who you are because they're going to be your advisors, and they're going to be the ones that actually teach your classes. We don't have hardly any teachers assistants or graduate assistants that teach any of our classes. All of our classrooms are small. Most of our classes will max out at maybe 20 to 25 students per class, and even smaller if you're in your 300 or 400 level classes when you get into your junior or senior year. They keep the labs small, even if you're just taking a general education science course. Your labs are going to be probably 15 students or so, maybe 20 depending on the course. So you actually get to do all of the experiments and work with all of the equipment in the labs, especially if you're going to be a biology or chemistry major. Getting that hands-on experience is very, very important, not just for your undergraduate career, but as you get into postgrad, if you're going to go to med school, or if you want to do any type of research after you graduate from college. You're going to get individual attention. This is a good thing in both if you're doing well in the classroom, or if you find that you've struggled a little bit. If you're doing well, you can go to those professors, your advisors, the faculty members, and ask them for referrals or letters of recommendation for jobs or for graduate schools if you wanted to do that in your career. But it also gives you individual attention, where if you find yourself struggling in a class, that you can go to them and ask for help, ask for guidance, maybe get a little extra tutoring from them, or they can recommend a tutor for you so you can have some peer-to-peer tutoring experience. And those faculty members, your professors, are usually going to be your advisors on a small campus. All of our faculty usually have some type of advising role with students, so they're going to help you. Again, if you're looking to do any type of internship or research project, depending on your class, they're going to be the ones that help you and guide you through that process. And then, of course, you have access to labs and other facilities that maybe if you go to a larger school, you won't have access to. And we have all different types of labs on our campuses. I know we at Shepherd, we have a robotics lab that students can use. They can build robots and work with 3D printers and do all kinds of different things that maybe you don't have that type of access to, or that free access to. Where if you go to a bigger school, you may not be able to go in there whenever you want to work on a certain project or do anything with that hands-on experience that we might be able to offer you. So next slide, I'm going to turn it over to Chris.
Thanks a lot, Will. So the next thing up, we're going to talk about clubs, activities, and student organizations. When you're one of less than 4,000 students on a college campus, the campus is large enough to have the best opportunities, of course, but still small enough to really make a difference, not just in the leadership of campus, but also out in the community at large. When you're on a college campus, you aren't one of 10, 20, 30, or 40,000 students on a small West Virginia regional college campus. Your interests, your talents, and all the different skills that you may have can really take center stage. You don't have to sit around and wait your turn. You don't have to wait for upperclassmen to clear out in order to engage in a lot of the different activities. You can really get involved from day one on the college campus, whether that's in music ensembles, whether that's on the theater stage, whether that's in different leadership positions in clubs or organizations. You have the chance to jump in feet first into your college experience. So when you consider life on a college campus, it is so much more than just about what you learn inside the classroom. What happens outside the classroom is just as important. Whether you apply what you're learning in the classroom or whether you apply what you're learning outside the classroom, both of those things really help you to really put your best foot forward for your professional network. And then, of course, face the challenges that you'll face in the different careers that you may have through life. You have the opportunity to develop lifelong friends. You have the opportunity to develop a network, and you really do rely on that individual classroom and that class attention that you have from your professors when your class sizes are smaller, because as Will suggested, those individuals very well may be the ones who are writing your letters of recommendation for graduate school, for medical school, for law school. Whenever you think about the different campus organizations, it really provides a lot of color and life to your college experience. For example, at Fairmont State University, we have over 50 active clubs and organizations. And of course, and it's the same at Shepherd and at Concord, if the club that you want to be a part of is not on campus, all you have to do is start with your student government association and petition, and then you can start your own club or organization with a faculty advisor. So it's a really great opportunity to really take the lead and jump right in there. So one of the best things that you want to do is get involved, whether it be as I said, in different clubs, different activities that are based on your major, whether of course those are directly related to your major, or whether they are professional organizations such as honorary Greek societies, different fraternities, sororities, a lot of different ways to get involved on campus. Of course, there's always intramural and club sports. You don't have to play at the Division II level in NCAA to enjoy college sports on campus. Different intramural teams will play each other. And then of course, different club sports or intracollegiate sports. You may be playing similar clubs or sports from different college campuses around your region. And as Alan said earlier, of course, the access to labs and other facilities, not just during class time, of course, but different maker labs and things like that are on the different college campuses. And then, of course, you can't forget the different opportunities for leadership, because that's one of the most important things to think about whenever you start considering what your life is going to be like post-college. So whenever you start thinking about all the different ways that you've been involved, the different student organizations that you've belonged to, different community service, different leadership opportunities that you've had, one of the best things that you can do is make sure that your college experience didn't happen just inside the classroom. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back off to Alan.
All right. So, of course, one of the most important reasons that you're going to be attending college is so that you get to that next step in your life, whether it's going to graduate school or going directly into employment. You want that certificate that says, I have graduated and I can now do X, Y, Z. With that being said, one of the advantages, once again, of a smaller institution is I think we've all kind of preached so much so far, is that you're building relationships. One of the things I always say, life is all about relationships. And the relationships that you build, that they were talking about, of course, Chris and Will, with your professors, that extends beyond graduation. Most of the people who I had as professors in college, and of course I still work here, but I have a brother who lives in Richmond, Virginia, who also attended Concord, and he still keeps a relationship with all of his professors. And the thing is, you never know where that may come in handy for you later on. You may be in an occupation for 10, 15 years and then decide you're going to do something else, or maybe you're going to switch you'll keep the occupation, but maybe you're going to switch states that you're working in. So you never know when you may need to refer back to one of your professors, and they can write you, like they said, a heartfelt letter of recommendation because you've actually built a personal relationship with them, as opposed to someone you may have only met your senior year at a larger institution. And of course, we have a career services office on our campus, as the other Fairmont and Shepherd do as well. And definitely make sure that these people are your friends by at least your junior year. That's my personal suggestion. But I think it's never too early to start developing individual personal marketing skills. And so even if you go in and at least introduce yourself as a freshman, I don't think that's going to hurt. But what if you have a job interview over dinner? What should you order? What should you stay away from? They can go over those things. Internships. Some majors may require an internship, but some majors may not. But we can still help you with those majors that don't necessarily require an internship. Once again, your professors, along with our career services office, can reach out to their contacts and help land that for you. And sometimes, an internship is paid, and that's even a little bit better. And also the professors are going to be making sure that you take the correct classes on the correct sequential order. And when it does come time for that next step, they can advise you on what best next step may be for you, whether it's grad school or a job or whatever that case may be. And also study abroad opportunities, travel opportunities within your major is also a possibility. And, what better way to do that than someone that a little bit more on a personal level, not only from faculty, but also from the student side. And, a smaller institution definitely feels like a smaller, close-knit family of people. And I'll go ahead and pass it on to our.
So one thing I think that all three of us will stress is our location. We're all located, as Chris said, in three really different parts of the state, but we all provide something that is unique in that area, whether, it's us over here in the Eastern Panhandle, close to some major metropolitan areas, or Fairmont being close to Pittsburgh, Concord being more in the southern part of the state, closer to Charleston, closer to Roanoke, Virginia. We all offer something unique. And one thing I think we're all really proud of as well is the community support that we have. Those communities that our schools are in are very small, but that doesn't mean that they don't support us. We find support in various things, whether it is an art exhibit, a musical production, or a theater production, or a sporting event. The towns will come out and support us. Fairmont State's in the heart of Fairmont. Concord is just outside of Athens. We're really close to Shepherdstown, which is a small town where we're in, and it's something that we're all really proud of. And the towns are also proud of the schools as well. I think that we work very well hand in hand with each town and how they support us, and we're all really very proud of that. So as I said, a lot of unique locations. We're close to the DC metro area, as well as Baltimore, Fairmont State, close to Pittsburgh, Concord, close to Charleston, West Virginia, the state capital, and about an hour and a half away from Roanoke, Virginia. This provides you with a lot of unique opportunities, whether it's internships or some research opportunities. It also provides you some opportunities for travel if you decide you want to go somewhere. We're all close to three pretty decently sized airports. Whether it's Pittsburgh out of Fairmont, Concord's got Charleston, as well as Roanoke airports, and we have a couple airports in Baltimore and DC. So if you decide you and a group of friends wanted to go somewhere, you can fly out from an airport, or if you are flying in and you needed to get close to one of the schools, we have that opportunity for you as well. And something else we're all very proud of is that the outdoor recreation that's near us, whether you like to hike, fish, hunt, go skiing, do anything outdoors, we can provide that for you. It is a 4-season playground. If you're looking for something to do, you can find it, especially if you like to be outside. And I think all of the schools do well in terms of providing those opportunities with school-sponsored trips. I know we do that, and I think every school at Concord and Fairmont will do that for you as well. I think, as Chris said, if if they're not doing that, then I think you can go to your student affairs or student activities and say, hey, let's take a look into taking a trip somewhere. Again, this is usually under normal circumstances. Right now might be a little bit difficult, but
Everything's a little bit different
yeah,
right now,
everything's
right?
a little bit difficult right now. So,
Yeah.
but under normal circumstances, if you wanted to take a trip, I know we take a trip usually to New York City, and they've done trips to Orioles games, Nationals games, the Washington Wizards. So if you wanted to take a trip and if you wanted to go somewhere, just check it out, and your school activities can usually sponsor those for you. So I will turn it over to Chris, who's going to talk a little bit about financing your college education.
Yeah, whether you're headed up to the Carnegie Museums in Pittsburgh or over to the Smithsonian, or all the different avenues that you have, there's just so much to see and do, and the more you can get out of your dorm and get out of your college campus and get out and kind of see the world, the better off you're going to be. So as Will said, I'm going to talk a little bit about cost and affordability. Now is definitely the time to start planning for that. 12 days ago, the FAFSA opened up for the fall 2021 semester. So you definitely want to make sure that you have filed your FAFSA. The sooner you do that, the better. There is a priority deadline for filing the FAFSA, so you just want to make sure that you get the FAFSA filed as soon as possible to make sure that you're eligible for all the possible aid that you can receive. One of the most important things to remember specifically about the cost of attending college in your home state is most often the cost of attending college in your home state is always going to be more affordable. Not just because it is a state-supported institution, but more importantly because you have full access to the different state financial aid programs, such as the West Virginia Higher Education Grant, such as the Promise Scholarship. Those are definitely all things that you want to make sure that you're considering whenever you're looking at institutions, whether they're in-state or out-of-state. You always want to make sure that you are planning for the full cost of college, and you have a good idea as to what that cost is: tuition, fees, room, board, books, supplies, and transportation and personal costs. All of those are different things that you definitely want to make sure that you are considering and researching sufficiently, so that way you can understand what the full cost of a college degree is. But one of the most certain things that you can understand as a West Virginia resident is staying here in West Virginia, especially at our regional institutions, is the best investment that you can possibly make. So when you start thinking about the different scholarship opportunities that are there, different scholarship applications, here at Fairmont State University, we have one general scholarship application for the entire institutions. Whether you are a freshman or a senior, all students will complete that one consolidated scholarship application. We do offer, the different institutions offer automatic scholarship awards that are based off of ACT or SAT scores, as well as your GPA. And important to remember too is that you can be away from but still close to home. This is the second time that Alan, Will, and I have done this presentation, and we all share kind of the same but similar experience, but also slightly different. Whenever we chose the school that we did, I chose 3 different size institutions: really large, really small, and then of course kind of the medium between there. And whenever I was on a much larger college campus, it just didn't feel quite close to home. So even though it was actually the campus that I had toured was closer to where I grew up here in West Virginia than Fairmont State was, I immediately felt at home on a small college campus. I was a little bit overwhelmed by all the traffic and stuff, so I knew that wasn't quite the right home feeling. So whenever you start thinking about going away to college, of course that's really important to learn some different independence strategies, and a lot of students kind of don't necessarily want to attend so close to home, but whenever you start considering the different institutions around the state, especially Fairmont State, Shepherd, and Concord, each in a different location here in West Virginia, but providing a really great opportunity. So I'm going to hand it over to Alan for just a second and talk about their scholarship opportunities that may be automatic award for West Virginia residents here in the state.
Absolutely. So, of course, under certain circumstances or current circumstances, we know that taking the test may be a challenge for many students. So right now, we award scholarships for students based on just a 3.0 GPA. That's where our base level scholarships are going to start. So after the 3.0, the next tier will begin at a 3.0 and an 18. And then the higher your score in GPA, the more money you qualify for. We definitely encourage you to try to take the test. And I think most students are at least trying to do that, if for nothing else, for Promise, of course. And I hope every student is shooting for the Promise Scholarship, but also it can help you out for scholarships in general, whether they be outside scholarships. Some community scholarships may look at a test score, but a lot of your institutions will still put that into the equation in some capacity. Our admissions application, which there's no application fee, also serves as your academic scholarship application. So once you get that into us, and once you've been admitted, we will award you based upon your application. We have a Bonner Scholarship application, which is separate. It's a separate foundation at the university, and it's community service based. That's valued at $3,000. Those students do about 140 hours a semester community service, which is on average 10 hours per week. And we award about 20 per year, available for current and first-time freshmen. So if you're interested in that, there's no prerequisite number of hours that you have to have coming into the program. And then, of course, we do have a foundation application on our website, as well as an alumni association application on our website in terms of scholarships. Thank you, Chris.
You want to talk a little bit about the scholarship opportunities for West Virginia residents at Shepherd, Will?
Sure. So like Fairmont, we have we have merit-based awards that are awarded based on GPA and test scores. Those start at a 3.0 GPA and a 22 on the ACT or an 1100 on the SAT, and they go up from there. And for West Virginia residents, they are $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000. And those are renewable for all 4 years that you're at Shepherd, as long as you maintain your West Virginia residency and have at least a 2.8 Shepherd GPA. And then we do have one scholarship application for the Office of Admissions. So it's a two letters of recommendation and an essay. You submit that to us after you're admitted, and then we use that along with, if you file a FAFSA, it shows us if you're eligible for any financial need-based aid. We have a wide variety of scholarships, so many scholarships that we just thought it would be easier to have one scholarship application. And then our financial aid office has a scholarship application as well. So if if the FAFSA says that you meet the requirements for financial need, you should fill out the financial aid scholarship application as well. So we have two scholarship applications there. Then a lot of times the individual departments get scholarship funding too. So if you're accepted, contact the department chair of the major that you're interested in and see if they have any scholarship opportunities and work with them to see what their requirements for those are as well. Especially one that comes to mind is our music department, our School of Music. They have a ton of scholarships available. So if you're interested in music, I know that's one department that gets scholarship funding every year.
One more thing too, Chris, I forgot to mention for West Virginia residents, if you have at least a 3.0 GPA and if you qualify for the Pell and the West Virginia Higher Education Grant, and you do need to file your FAFSA by March the 15th, and we'll make sure that there's no gap in the tuition portion of the total bill. So that's called the CU Free Scholarship. So.
And then we have our Opportunity Scholarship here at Fairmont State University. Of course, our mascot, we are the Fighting Falcons. The institutional values are scholarship, opportunity, achievement, and responsibility. And we have different opportunities for students to soar, is the acronym that we use. Our Opportunity Scholarship is available to students with a 2.0 GPA and at least an 18 on the ACT or a 950 on the SAT. And then, of course, it goes up from there. We have our Presidential Scholarship. We do recognize 20 students who apply for our Presidential Scholarship. We have 3 honorees who are then selected for that. That's a full coverage for tuition, fees, room, and board. That's in addition to the Promise Scholarship for West Virginia residents. So definitely check out our website for all the different scholarship opportunities that we have. And like I said, we do offer that consolidated scholarship application. So at this point in time, I'm going to hand it off to Alan to talk a little bit more about how you can learn more about Concord University this fall.
Absolutely. So one of the things I always say, there's nothing that can replace the college visit. It is so important for you to get on campus at some point before you decide on the college you want to attend. And I think it's evident through what some of us have said that a lot of our decisions were made once we actually visited the campuses. That being said, we offer individual tours Monday through Friday at either 10 o'clock a.m. or 1 o'clock p.m. We are limiting those to 2 families per time slot. And we do ask that you register 48 hours in advance. It gives us enough time, our custodial staff, to make sure everything is clean before and after your tour is over. And then, of course, we have some open houses coming up actually this weekend, Friday and Saturday, as well as November the 6th and 7th, which are Fridays and Saturdays as well. Some of those, as you'll see, are listed for different colleges and different majors. But if you can't make it to one that you're interested in, that's okay. You can come to one that doesn't necessarily cater towards your major. It's just that we'll have some faculty there from those particular programs to address some specific questions in those areas. But you can still get a tour, still speak to the admissions and financial aid staff, and go over everything else in depth for your college visit. And then also, if you're still a little uncomfortable about getting out, which we totally understand, hey, you can do it from the comfort of your home. We have some Zoom in on CU events. Once again, you don't have to be an international student or a homeschool student to attend and register those events. We'll still have admission staff there to address any questions that you may have about the process, and we encourage you to come whenever it's convenient for you. And I will pass it on to Chris to talk about his visitation opportunity.
Hey, Chris, you're muted.
Hey, Chris, I believe you're muted.
Thanks for the heads up there, Will and Alan. That's the theme of 2020. Hey, I think you're on mute. Anyway, so our big opportunity is, of course, November 8th through the 14th. Traditionally in the fall, we would have our very large fall open house, which is what we call our Maroon and White Day, and we have our Maroon and White Week with major exploration sessions, and that is November 8th through the 14th. Monday through Friday, we'll be offering different, say for instance, the College of Education, Health and Human Performance is going to be on Monday. The College of Nursing is going to be on Friday. So different college or school here at Fairmont State will offer sessions from 10 a.m. To 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. We have our opening session that Sunday evening, November 8th, to kind of explain the entire event to you, so that way you can get the most out of it and attend all the different information sessions. We'll be having a financial aid and residence life session every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, we have different general information session open house each evening, Monday through Thursday. Tuesday of every week, we have our Discover Fairmont State University info sessions, and you can visit those at, you can register for those at fairmontstate.edu/visit, and those are always from 5 to 6 every Tuesday evening. We offer our live chat on our website that is available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you just have a quick question about the application, you can definitely do that. We are planning to begin our college, our campus tours very soon, so just keep an eye out on our website. We actually have a link on the website right now at fairmontstate.edu/visit, where you can essentially put yourself on a waiting list for whenever we do open up for those college visits. And then, of course, we offer our virtual tour video at fairmontstate.edu/video-tour. And then, of course, we offer our virtual visits as well, and those are offered Monday through Friday, and that's a one-on-one with an admissions counselor. You can have your parent along for that, or do it with your school counselor. But if you have any specific questions, we can also bring different faculty members into those virtual visits. So if you have a specific question about nursing or biology or chemistry or business or aviation, we can have a different faculty member from any one of those schools or colleges in on your visit, so that way you can really ask more direct questions. And then on that Saturday, November 14th of Maroon and White Week, we'll also be offering our a live tour of our residence halls, because our residence halls will not be available for tours until after the Thanksgiving holiday break, because we do have our campus residence halls completely closed to any outside visitors at this point right now in order to limit exposure to COVID. So check out our website, fairmontstate.edu/visit. We have a visitation opportunity to meet just about any schedule that you might find on there. So go ahead and hand it off to Will.
Thanks, Chris. So biggest thing we're doing this fall is online or virtual academic information sessions. Those are available to sign up for now. So every single major is doing one. Just go to our website, shepherd.edu, and then there's a visit box in the upper right-hand corner. If you click that link, it's the first information section there. Go there and you can sign up for any major that you're interested in. You can attend however many you want to. It's done via Zoom, so as long as you have access to that, you'll be able to ask questions of faculty. You'll get a brief admissions presentation as well, and those are usually going to be held at nighttime. There are a few during the day or over the weekend. We're doing virtual admissions appointments with admissions counselors. Those are available Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. So if you have questions, just like Chris said, we're doing the exact same thing. Have questions, your parent can be there, your school counselor can be there. We're happy to help you however you need. And then we're doing virtual visits with high schools, so check with your guidance counselor. We're trying to schedule as many of those as we possibly can. But the best place to go for visit information for Shepherd is shepherd.edu, and then in the upper right-hand corner, the visit link that we have there, including we are doing in-person visits, campus tours now as well. So those will start up for us on October 19th. So next Monday will be our first ones. We're doing 10 and 2 o'clock. We're limiting those to one family per tour. It is a walking tour, so be outside. We are requiring that you wear a mask, but you can sign up for that. Again, same place, shepherd.edu, and in the upper right-hand corner of our website, click visit. You're muted again, Chris.
There we go. No longer muted. Just hop back to the slide here just to do a quick review of our locations here in the state of West Virginia. So if you want to check us out, you can definitely do that. Sit down and plan out your college visits as you begin to apply for college. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for a few questions. So I'm going to toss the first question out here to Alan. And the question is, if I'm considering a college, should I go ahead and apply?
I would think that absolutely, definitely go ahead and apply and get that taken care of now, so that you don't do that, have to worry about that last minute. Every college is a little bit different, and I can say for Concord, of course, we have rolling admissions, which means there is no application deadline. There is no early decision, so to speak. You could apply all the way up to the first day of class, but I don't encourage you to do that. You can do that and still get in and still enroll. But you want to, the more I think you can do now, the better position you put yourself in at the end. Also, we cannot send you a financial aid award letter until you've been accepted. So once you've been accepted, and once we have your FAFSA, and I'm sure many of you are starting on the FAFSA, if not have already completed it, we can go ahead and start sending you that information so you can see an estimated award letter and get those numbers in front of you. So I think it allows you to kind of get as much information in front of you now, and that way it puts you in a position to make a more thoughtful, informed decision about your college education. So I definitely wouldn't wait to apply, and definitely get that in if you are interested.
Thanks a lot, Alan. The next question I'm going to toss over to Will. Whenever it comes to applying for program-specific applications, so say, for instance, nursing often requires a separate application. What advice would you have for students who are planning to apply for an application-only or audition-only major?
So I think one of the first things that you should do is ask and make sure if the program that you're interested in is an application type of major, Chris mentioned nursing is one. We have social work and education are two others. But as a high school student, you don't really need to worry about that, about social work or education. We do have a direct admit to nursing program. That program is for students that have at least a 3.5 GPA, about a 1250 SAT, or about a 25 ACT. You have to have a B or better in all of your science courses, and you have to have biology and chemistry as a high school student as well. And there has to be a lab component with those. So you can apply early to our nursing program, have your application in by December 1st. And what that does is it guarantees you a spot in the nursing program, as long as you meet the program requirements as a student at Shepherd. So you have to have certain GPA, you have to have certain grades in specific courses, have to have, usually it's a C or better in all of your nursing prerequisites. But otherwise, again, I think a benefit of a small school is a lot of times you don't maybe necessarily have to worry about those program specific or those application specific programs. There are some, engineering at certain schools may be one, but again, a small school, the competition may not be there, where if you go to a larger school, all of their students may be direct admit to nursing students, but at a smaller school, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. Usually, we admit about 65 students into our nursing program each semester, and I would say maybe maybe two of those students are direct admit to nursing program for us. So again, a small school is you're not gonna have that level of competition where if you go to a larger school, all of their nursing students may be direct admit to nursing students. So not a lot of programs for us are application specific, which is a benefit to the student. You don't have to make a decision right away. It gives you some time to kind of figure out where exactly it is you want to go, which in a year like this is pretty important.
Yep, and I'll reflect on what Will said. There is here at Fairmont State also nursing is definitely huge competition for nursing in terms of the number of students who apply versus the number of students that will eventually get into that program. So just make sure that you are checking out any additional program application requirements that may be there, such as taking an entrance exam or a test such as the TEAS test. The other program that we have here at Fairmont State that is application only is our aviation program. So if you want to be a pilot, you'll definitely need to apply separately for that program. I'm going to toss another question over to Alan. And what should the students be considering whenever they start looking for a residence hall or what student life is like on a smaller college campus?
I believe that in terms of a residence hall, of course, once again, every school is going to be a little bit different. You want to visit, I can speak for Concord to kind of give you an example. There are two different styles of halls. You have traditional halls and you have suite style halls, and neither of them are limited to a certain class. So freshmen stay in any of the halls as well as seniors. Some schools, though, may have residence halls that are specifically geared toward that. So that's a question you may want to ask when you're visiting the campuses. But after visiting, I think you also be able to determine which, if you have a preference, what preference that is after actually physically going into the halls. Some of the halls may have academic, Greek, or organizational wings. So that's something you may want to look for. It doesn't mean you can't be in that organization, of course. And that doesn't mean that you have to stay in that wing, so to speak, either as well. In terms of, student life, we have over 60 student-led clubs and organizations. It's very, very important, as Chris had mentioned a little bit earlier, to get involved because you build relationships with other students and faculty that you may not have normally done through classes. You may be a faculty member outside of your major, and that just broadens your connections, so to speak, and your relationships even that much more. So, and that's where your experiences and your memories are going to come from, is getting involved on campus. So definitely that's very important for you to do.
All right, we don't have any more questions. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Just want to thank everyone for attending the session this evening. Really appreciate everyone. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Concord.edu for Concord University, FairmontState.edu for Fairmont State University, and then shepherd.edu for Shepherd. So once again, thanks everyone for attending our session this evening. Wish you the very best of luck all throughout your senior year. We know things are a little crazy right now, but we're here to support you. Just because things have gone a little haywire, don't put your plans for your future on hold. Seek us out. We're here to help you in every way we possibly can.
All right. So again, thanks for everybody for joining us today. When you close the window, there'll be a link to a quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you could provide. Also, this is the first of many sessions we'll have. So please sessions at WVACRAO.org. In about a week, this recorded session will be available at the very same website. Thank you very much.